Welcome back to Tom. Today we're making these guys, cheesecake cookies. It's a cheesecake base, kind of, but not really. It's a cookie that uses cream cheese and butter as its main components. It's got flour in it to help it set. It's rolled in biscuit and then filled with your choice of fillings. What I have here is raspberry jam and plums and dolce de leche and Oreos. And I have a second tray here. We're going to try to maneuver. They're still hot out of the oven with figs and cherry jam and blueberries and raspberry jam. How awesome do those look? Unlike cheesecake, they're incredibly not fussy and they're easy to make, and it's a great way to use some fresh fruit, some awesome jam, bring it all together in a really handy little parcel like these guys. They're so hot, but check that out. And this whole base, this cookie, is actually a very soft pastry which holds your desired filling. So let's make our cheesecake cookies right now. So what I have here is 1 cup of cream cheese. That's 225 grams. And I'm using that solid American block in this. The British one, which is far softer, is not going to work here. I have 140 grams of softened butter. That is 10 tablespoons. So that's going in as well. If your butter isn't soft, make sure it is. You could just stick it in the microwave for about 5 or 10 seconds to get it soft. But if you were to use butter, which is still quite cold and hard, you're gonna get little tiny lumps in your pastry that are never gonna come out. So to that, I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 1 packet, which is 1 tablespoon of vanilla sugar. If you can't get your hold on kosher for Pesach vanilla sugar, which I'm trying to use up in every way possible, you can use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So all that's going in, and I'm gonna beat it until it's smooth. Should take about 2 minutes until everything is smooth and well incorporated. Let me just show you, beautifully smooth. It should look like cream cheese actually, but softened and a bit aerated. If your cream cheese or your butter aren't at room temperature, you're not gonna get this. And that is definitely what we're going for. I'm going to scrape down the sides and add 1 egg to this mixture and let it beat again until the egg is well incorporated. Now let's do our flour element. What I have here is 2 cups of flour. To that, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And they're going in. I'm just gonna use my fork and my too small bowl as usual to mix it all together. And I'm going to add this all at once to my cream cheese mixture. So in we go. And there we go. I'm going to mix it just until the flour is incorporated into the cream cheese. This shouldn't take more than a minute. And then I'm going to finish up by hand. I don't want to overwork the flour in any way. And we're done. Because I don't really want this to toughen up. The flour is there to bind it, to give our cookies their structure and shape, but I don't want to toughen it up in any way. So I'm going to finish mixing by hand. All right, here is our cream cheese dough, and it's ready to go into the fridge for half an hour just to like really set up. And then we're going to shape it. We're going to roll it in some cookie crumbs, and then we're going to fill and bake. So into the fridge, 30 minutes. Our dough has set up in the fridge for half an hour. So it's set up. It's still a bit sticky, which we're going to need because we're going to roll in the crumb. We're going to turn on ovens. Yes, ovens are on. 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit. And either using a spoon or your hands, take out about 2.5 centimeters, an inch worth of dough and roll it. It's going to get messy. It's going to get sticky. You are being forewarned. And then roll it in biscuit crumbs. What I have here is 4 graham crackers, which I crushed in the food processor. You can use digestives, you could use petti, whatever you've got, but I've got some graham crackers, so that's what I'm using. So there is my first cheesecake cookie, and I'm going to put it on my baking sheet, and I'm going to repeat with the remaining dough. So basically, a tablespoonful, and then roll it until you have about an inch-sized lump of dough there, and then into your crushed biscuit, whatever that biscuit choice may be. Oreos would be really good, but that has more to do with the toppings, and we'll discuss the toppings as soon as we're done rolling all of these guys. So I'm gonna keep on rolling. As you can see, all our cheesecake cookies are now shaped, and I'm gonna use the back of a very rounded spoon to make an indent in each one. So as you can see, massive indent. You can use your thumb as well, but I find that the shape of the back of the spoon is just perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this is deeply satisfying as well. I cannot explain why, but super satisfying to do this. So we're gonna go ahead and do that to all of them, and then we're gonna talk about fillings. All my indents are made, and I've been testing this out for a while, trying to figure out what the best filling is. And what I've come to the conclusion is that it's jam or dolce de leche. Those are the two that work the best. So with the jam ones, I actually have some fresh fruit I'm gonna put on top before it goes into the oven. So I have here Morello cherry jam, which is definitely, I love cherries, so one of my favorite. And I'm gonna go in and fill these depressions with the jam. And I'm gonna do some with cherry jam, some with raspberry jam, and then do some fresh fruit on top. So, oh my gosh, I don't know why I find this so incredibly satisfying. So I'm gonna keep on doing this until everyone's filled. They are so adorable. I'm sorry, they're just too cute for words. Look at that. So the blueberry ones have raspberry jam, and the fig ones have cherry jam under them. And then we've got these guys, which are plums with cherry jam and dolce de leche. They're gonna go into the oven for 12 minutes. I'm gonna flip the trays 6 minutes in. So 6 minutes, just put the upper one below and below above. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's go into the oven, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit for 12 minutes. Check it out. It's a little far. Come closer so you could see how stunning those guys are. It's a lot of maneuvering happening here, but the flourish, the last tiny touch with the dolce de leche ones is I have these super thin Oreos. I'm a huge fan, and I'm gonna just pop them into the dolce de leche, which is still like molten lava. Not that I've ever tried molten lava, but I'm assuming it is something like this, so that the Oreo kind of adheres to the dolce de leche while it cools down, and that contrast of like crispy Oreo and dolce de leche and the cream cheese base are just amazing. All right, you need to let these guys cool down for 5 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack, but they are just ridiculously easy, unfussy. I wish I was as unfussy as these cookies are. Oh my goodness, yes, bring on the dairy. That's all I've got to say. There we go, we're done. Yes, they're beautiful. Let me just show you what we have here. So gorgeous, check it out. cheesecake cookies. And they're just so easy and unfussy and not complicated, and they just want to be made. So make them because they're awesome. All right, see you all soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. See ya.